Hello everybody, welcome. That's one thing you can use a seat for. What I want to do is throw a large bowl, a sort of open bowl. So I've got some warm water here in my hot box. There we go. So, are we in the picture? Let's move a little closer. Yeah, it's about right, isn't it? Okay, so we've got a 5-pound lump of clay there. I just had an idea to make a biggish bowl, sort of so big. See how we get on. Clay feels nice. Mirror. If you get a mirror like this, you see, you can stick it in a bit of clay, and then you can put it, and it's already, let it dry, but it'll set in the right position, you see. That's about right. So here goes. Wish me luck. It's a struggle, isn't it? When we make pots, we don't always know what the outcome is going to be, do we? Especially when we're stretching ourselves a little bit and doing something a little bit more challenging. Now, of course, when I'm throwing this, as I bring the clay up and out, it's going to get wider. That's when this particular kind of wheel comes into its own, because I can get a very good control over the speed. So coning up. Centering down. Now I want to leave a little bit of depth in the foot, because this is going to be like a footed bowl. So I need to leave a little bit of depth in the foot there to allow for the trimming. Now, of course, when making bowls, the important thing to think about is think of the bowl from the inside out first. In other words, get the inside nice bowly shape. Get that right from the beginning. If you don't, what you'll likely do is make the bottom too flat, and it'll have a sort of corner in the bottom, and this kind of bowl doesn't have any corners. It's a cornerless bowl. Now, another important thing is don't get too wide too quickly. Get height first and then open out. That is really important. Okay, so I'm concentrating right now, getting this a nice rounded bottom, you see. Try and get a nice even pull. We don't want to narrow the foot too much yet, although I probably will a bit later. We struggle with the clay, don't we, sometimes? But that's it. It's a challenge, isn't it? It's that. I hope my head doesn't get in the way. See how my fingers and hands are braced together? So you always try to touch one hand across to the other. I find it a great help. When we get even watering at this stage, that's really important, you see. You don't want to have it like you don't want patchy watering, you want even watering. So the pot is evenly saturated with water, not just in one place and then you hit a dry place, you know. Now I'm going to get to a point where I'm not going to be able to join my hands together. So I'm going to narrow the foot now a touch by pushing in, you see. But that's going to give me a little bit more of a bit of a like a bit of an elbow there to get underneath, you see. So let's go, another pull. Now I'm widening it now a little bit. Okay, so you can see the form at the minute is fairly, we've got some height, haven't we? Which we want. Now it's very important you don't go too fast. Too much speed at this stage and you can lose it. Okay, so we've got the height. Now when I push in to do that pull, you don't want to push in too much and don't pull out too much, so otherwise you get too much of an overhang, you see. If you get too much of an overhang, the thing will start doing a dance. And we don't want that, not yet anyway. So, what next? Well, you see, let's just check we're in the picture. Yeah, okay. What can happen is, you see, it can get into a situation when we're starting the lift that it can start to go off center a bit. So we need to strengthen the bowl at the top. How are we going to do that? Well, I'll show you one way where you can brace the top of the bowl in such a way as to provide, and that is by putting an angle in it there. You see what I'm doing? I'm just turning over that. I'm turning outwards the rim a little bit, but that effectively is putting an angle in, you see. And whenever you put an angle in a pot, it creates rigidity. You see, and that's what we want at this stage. We want the top to have some kind of rigidity. We don't want the top to be, you know, doing this kind of thing. Alright, so what I need to do now is I need to belly the bowl out, give it more form, at the same time widening it a little bit. Let's see if we can do that. Again, we need to make sure we've got even watering all over the pot, and that means on the inside as well as the outside. So I've got to watch my speed. I've also got to be careful that the bowl doesn't hit on my apron, you see. So I'm going to pull it out a bit and widen it a little bit at the base there. You see that? Coming out. Giving it belly. Widening it. Now I've got to be a bit careful here. Putting that angle back in again, see there? Now let's just suppose, as in doing what I did then, we got into a predicament, and I sensed that the bowl was developing a weakness here. Well, what are we going to do if that happens? I'll tell you what we're going to do. As quickly as you can, you're going to reach for your gun. Okay? So, we're going to torch it right there. Right at the weak point, at the point where it could collapse, where it could completely lose it and go soft on us and go wobbly, you see. So we're going to keep the wheel rotating. Now you find that if you do this, and you'll be able to catch pots in time, you'll be able to prevent them from slumping. Now, in this case, this pot actually is okay, but it's never a bad idea just to give it a little bit of extra, a bit of heat, a bit of torch at this stage. See, the bowl is actually running fairly true. So it's a good practice, I think. You see, especially with these like overhanging bowls where you've got a rather narrow foot. So I'm just playing the flame over that elbow down there. Almost done. Okay. Turn him off. Right. Let's lower the camera a little bit so you get a little bit more of the sideways. See what I'm talking about a bit better. Alright. So. So remember this angle here keeps the top here from true. Alright, well, we're going to just stick the bottom, gently use the stick. Leather the rim. Carefully, not exerting any pressure really on the rim, just like that. And there he is. Now this bowl will be trimmed afterwards to remove a little of the clay in this area here at the bottom, just at this in this portion. Well, I hope that's been helpful to you, and if you're going to make a big bowl like this, remember, get your height before you get your width, and watch your wheel speed, and keep the water flowing, keep it wet. Hey, this is Simon Leach saying, keep practicing. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.